before you bring in your chicks, you must spray. This is what we call disinfecting the structure, the house, the poultry house. Before you bring in your chicks, it is a must to spray, because if you don't spray or disinfect, the disease which was there will still affect the young ones. And because the young ones are a bit weaker, the immune system is still low, you must spray them so that at least they are not affected. And because the old ones can at least fight the disease, these young ones cannot fight the disease. So you must always disinfect your structure so that you don't have the issues of disease. Let me first stop spraying. I want to share with you something here. When you're starting poultry, you don't need to start with many birds. If you are a beginner, start with just a few birds. Then you put in partitions. At each partition here, for us, it accommodates broilers, 200 broilers. If they are layers, can be 100. So you partition so that you can start with what you can afford. You don't need to start with very many birds. No, start small. Kataps always says, or me, myself, I usually say, please, there is no small batch of birds. There's no small batch of birds. Any number starts. So if you are starting poultry farming with such a structure, you can partition it so that every time you bring, you keep extending. You can even bring in phases. You can bring in January, bring in Feb, bring in March, as long as you can afford. Partition. Don't bring in large numbers, especially when the market becomes a problem. You struggle with them. After spraying, you are now ready for the chicks. This is our day one. Before you bring in the chicks, they should find when the fire is set, ready to receive the chicks. Because we usually say, when the heat is in there and the chicks come, they believe as if they are living with the mother. This is what we call improved farming. They are not with the real mother. So you can create the mother outside, the artificial mother. It really becomes easy for you when you bring in the chicks and they find everything set. The brooder is set. So you go bring the chicks. After bringing in the chicks, you also bring in the feeds on the same day. That's the starter feed. Your brooder is completely set. Now, the only thing you have to do immediately, put disinfectant. That one, never forget it. Of course, we sprayed before, that's 2 weeks before. Now we are putting disinfectant. Where you have to put the foot bath, you must put your feet in that disinfectant, otherwise you lose all the chicks. You see, the brooder is very clean, nothing is there. Only the fire is ready, waiting. When you come, you have to count the chicks. Of course, we counted from the shop, so I don't count now. Because there are just a few birds. These are broilers, only 250 birds. I'm really starting up afresh because I stopped broilers. I was into layers so much. But I see when you deport the farm a proper one, tap money here and there. You must tap money and there. We encourage you to give them warm water, but if there's no warm water, you give them at least water with glucose, but in a warmed place, in a warmed room. That's what we call a warmed brooder. So in this water, we're going to put the glucose with the vitamin, so that the chicks gain the energy. They have traveled from all that far. They have come from very far. See, the water becomes yellow. Actually, broilers, they live on almost yellow water. I love farming. I can't believe that this is me who is on this level. The level of having broilers, the level of having layers, and you're well conversant with everything you know what to do. Happily doing it and enjoying it. When you go into the chicks, ensure that you don't have your shoes in. Check my feet. Check my feet properly. There are no gumboots, there are no shoes. The only reason is when you go in with the shoes, the feeling is lessened. So you end up stepping on the chick without knowing. And anytime you step on one, it will die. The small size, they are really small. So you ensure that you don't go in with the shoes. See, they are coming near the pot. There is that conducive environment. They are enjoying life. Allah, these are the very beautiful birds. Welcome to the Taps Family YouTube channel. And today I'm so happy that I have embarked back on broiler birds. I'm back into broilers. You can imagine I have been off into layers for a long time. So it's now 2 hours since we brought in these chicks. And usually we say, when you bring in the chicks, at least give them 2 hours before giving in feeds. You give them water with the glucose, maybe with sugar, glucose. But then we give them the glucose mixed with the vitamin so that they can get the energy because they have moved. So we have to give them the energy. So here we give them the feeds. And of course when we're giving feeds, you see this feeder is for starter. But we cannot give it like this, so we have to remove the top cover. And we give it in a plain, because they don't appreciate feed. So give them in a plain metal. Nothing disturbing them. Let them first eat. I am somebody who advocates for anything you have. Anything you have. This is a plate. An old plate from the kitchen. And it is going to be very good feeder for my chicks. Just to watch the speed. Watch the space. So I cut. We are going to give our chicks starter pellets. You can see the way the pellets look like. Sorry, I feel it so much. It's expensive. This is how the pellets look like for the starter chicks. People have been asking me, those who normally ask me a question, what feeds can I start with? These are the right feeds. The starter pellets. There is a digestible. Usually, I say, don't waste feed. So when you're putting in your feeds, you put at least 3/4 of the feed. Don't from the feeder. Don't fill it the brim, because once you fill it, the chicks will pour the food down, and you lose the money because this feed is very expensive. What takes away farmers from the farming is mainly feeds. This feed takes over 70% of the input you put in a chick. So this chick was bought at 3,000 Ugandan shillings. If you're going to put it in a dollar, because you know our dollar rate is 3,800 shillings. $1 US dollar, which means this chick was bought at 3,000. It's almost $1. Meaning if you compute, they say the feed to get this chick ready takes 70%. So you have to take care of the feeds. Don't waste any feed. When you're putting feeders, ensure that the birds have where to pass. Put them, align them properly. We have the fire. We have the water. We have the light. What do we need? The feed is there, the water, the fire, everything. Next is to ensure that your chicks get the care. This is enough. This is enough. I'm very sure this water has glucose in it. This fire, this is charcoal. And see the feeders, they're enjoying their feed. They're enjoying their feeds.